Hello traders, Gary Wagner here. Just about 10:30 in Honolulu, 4:30 in New York. It is Wednesday, May 10th, 2017, and this is the Daily Report for Gold and Silver. Although well off of the highs, the intraday highs today, gold is closing higher in terms of the futures markets, currently trading up about $3.10 and trading at $12.1920. Low today, $17.50, and that to me is critically important. We'll want to take a look at that. And the high is a $12.2580. So although we're $6, $7 off the high, we did close in positive territory, just not nearly the type of positive territory we had at the initial opening and beginning of the trading session today. Now, spot gold is currently at $12.19. Net change a little bit different, putting it off about $1.40 on the day, 17 on the low, 25 on the high. Over to silver. Silver is trading and trading sharply higher today, trading up about 0.75%, up 12 cents at $16.19. The low today was 14 and the high today was 16.34. Yes, gold is currently trading higher on the day, up about $3, trading at $12.19. It is off of the lows, but the fact that we had the intraday high at about $25.80 and it really had closed far from that price point, in fact, much closer to the lows of the day than the highs, considering the lows were $12.1750. It tells me that I do believe we are seeing a base and support form in gold. However, we have yet to see any kind of technical confirmation that a pivot is at hand. When we look at this most recent price decline, we can see that candle size, especially if you look at some of the candles that we saw late last week, we are now getting a very much a compressed range. If you look at any of these bottoms, you'll see that the candle size begins to get compressed, but typically you'll get these doji or pivotal candles either at the key points at the top or the bottom right before you see a color change. And we're certainly not getting that. However, we're seeing those first signs. The second thing that we want to look at on the CCI, we do have this particular range moving higher from negative to a lower negative territory. Next, we've converted that daily chart in Japanese average format to a standard candlestick format so we can see true opens and closes. Is the fact that this low falls just above $12.1750. That is the low today. $12.17 is a 78% retracement, and it is a retracement from this last rally, and we've now seen the market give back 78%, which is a very, very deep retracement level, but nonetheless acceptable even within a bullish model. I do think we are seeing the beginnings of support coming into the market. A break below this, of course, would change my mindset, but I do believe that at this point, there's a very, very decent probability that we will see support in the market at this level and the market bounce off this level. There's absolutely no doubt. Silver has been trading under an extreme amount of pressure. After trading to this year's high just above $18.50, that would be the secondary top here. Of course, the first top came in just at $18.50. We have seen the market trade under tremendous pressure, breaking through all of the major levels in terms of a fib retracement. If we look at a fib retracement from 1566 up to the yearly high at 1866, it did in fact break below a 78% retracement as recently as 4 trading days ago. Even if we look at a much longer term and wider price structure fib retracement, and on this one I have our lows at 1478 up to these highs at almost $21, and then we take that 78% retracement and carry that across. What you'll see is yesterday's activity actually broke below that. So there is no way to look at this chart on a technical basis and not say that major chart damage has not occurred. It absolutely has. It's broken through all of the key support levels. At this particular point in time, when we look at this market, obviously $16 per ounce is a psychological level. It's also a level that has good historical data in which we've seen it act as resistance here act as support here, act as support here. It cannot be understated that this market is extremely, extremely oversold at this point. Whether or not silver will find support at $16 is something we will determine as more time goes by. In other markets that we follow, mixed bag in U.S. equities today. All of these markets are trying to really digest recent action by this administration to fire James Comey, the former director of the FBI. Dow Jones closing fractionally lower, 20,943. However, both the S&P as well as the NASDAQ eked out gains. Now, the S&P fractionally higher on the day at 2399.63, up about 3 points on the day. But it's a NASDAQ that has everybody's attention because even though it only closed up 8.5 points, it closed at 61.28. That's about 8 points higher than yesterday's close and therefore another new all-time record high. This particular action by the administration, I believe, has not been fully digested or factored into the market. I think that we will see some turmoil develop because of this, and the uncertainty factor will most inevitably ramp up. I think that we could, in fact, have found some sort of base in gold. Today, we once again established the low at 1217. That's really an important number to us in that it's a 78% retracement of the most recent rally, the second leg of the rally. And I think that timing-wise, we could be forming a base here before moving to higher pricing. This has been Gary Wagner wishing you, as always, good trading. We'll talk to you tomorrow for another daily update and review. Bye-bye.